Pranam, this is Rahul Kapoor Jain and welcome back to yet another episode of Jainism Simplified. Today we're going to talk about the 5 types of knowledge. Jain Philosophy propounds that knowledge is the very essence of the soul, and it is this knowledge which is masked by karmic particles. So when the soul begins to obtain knowledge through various means, it is not generating anything new, but just shedding off knowledge obscuring karmic particles. Jains also believe that consciousness is a very important attribute of the soul. It is this consciousness which later on manifests into darshan, which is perception, and gyan, which is knowledge. The Tvarsa Sutra suggests that there are 5 types of knowledge. Number 1, mati gyan or sensory knowledge. Number 2, shruta gyan or scriptural knowledge. Number 3, avadhi gyan or clairvoyance. Number 4, manaparyaya gyan, which is telepathy. And number 5, keval gyan, which is omniscience. The first 2 types of knowledge are called as indirect knowledge because they depend on external sources such as senses and mind to know things, whereas the other 3 types of knowledge are known as direct knowledge because they do not depend on any external sources to know about things. Let us now explore each one of the 5 gyans. Number 1, mati gyan or sensory knowledge. This type of knowledge is acquired using our senses. Like we know, we have 5 senses. The sense of taste, touch, smell, seeing and hearing. The senses grasp external object and then get to know of them, whereas our mind experiences them using a 4-step process. Avagraha. It refers to the first observation. Iha means that it gets curious. Apaya, it then gets into a process of confirmation. And dharana, it creates an impression. Development of sense, mind and right thinking is what is aimed at by this type of knowledge. Number 2, shruta gyan or scriptural knowledge. This type of knowledge is acquired through understanding of written and verbal sentences. Scripture is not knowledge because scripture does not comprehend anything. Therefore, knowledge is one thing and scripture is quite another. If mati gyan is the cause, then shruta gyan is the effect. So to develop a keen sense of hearing and not to miss even a single word of right knowledge is what is aimed by shruta gyan. Mati gyan and shruta gyan are closely related like milk and water. All living beings in the world are endowed with these 2 types of knowledge. Number 3, avadhi gyan or clairvoyance. It is the ability to gain information about an object, person, location or a physical event using extrasensory perception or the 6th sense. This type of gyan is gained not through any physical means such as the senses or the mind, but through your psychic abilities or through your intuitive awareness by overcoming the limitations of time and space. It is beyond the boundaries of your ordinary awareness and faculties and is not generally available to everyone. It aims at gaining special quality of knowledge so as to decline the tendency towards anger, ego, greed, deceit and infatuation. Number 4, manaparyaya gyan or telepathy. Shades of reflections of pudgals, which is material substances that would motivate one, are formed in the mind in accordance to one's thoughts. These shades or reflections or modes are derived through this knowledge. This type of knowledge makes one have the capability of telepathy, which is the ability to read others' minds and thoughts. One can develop the knowledge level of Rajumati, which is simple telepathy, or also Vipulamati, which is elaborated telepathy. Entirely, it is the power of the soul and can be attained only by high quality seekers of spirituality and deep meditation. Number 5, keval gyan or omniscience. Keval gyan is roughly translated as complete understanding or supreme wisdom. Keval gyan is believed to be an intrinsic quality of all souls. This quality is masked by karmic particles that surrounds the soul. By shredding off the karmic particles, the soul acquires perfect knowledge. With such a knowledge, the knowledge and the soul both becomes one. A keval gyani thus gains the knowledge of the past, present and the future of this world and the worlds beyond. Now that you have the understanding of the 5 types of Jnans, let me urge you to begin your journey to develop them. Deep spiritual practices, nirjara of karmas, and destruction of kashayas will serve you well in this ultimate quest of your life. And that's Jainism Simplified.